Hi guys, Sunday morning, just about to go out and watch some local grassroots games. Always on the lookout for new talent in our local area, so hopefully go out, see some good football, some good coaching, some good kids, and enjoy the bright and early Sunday morning.
George, right. Relax. George, what we're saying about that goal kick? Stanley, just wait there.
So good morning this morning, out watching some grassroots football, caught an under-9 game between two local sides, some really good football being played, which was good to see. Then went on, watched a couple of my friends play in an adults kind of grassroots under league game. Back home, watched the Arsenal-Bournemouth game. And now just cracking on with some work, getting ready for the week. This week we've got our sessions as well as a fixture on Tuesday, under 7s and under 8s against a pro club. So that should be interesting. Just today sorting out the final squads for that. Also confirming squads out for some of our games over Christmas that we've got coming up for some of our older age groups. So plenty going on, lots of opportunities for players from grassroots all around. So for when we do these fixtures, obviously we have players from all our centres, so we could have a child from Colchester playing with a child from High Wycombe, which is like 120 mile radius. They come together, play together. I think it's really good that we can pull players from all those regions together and then give them the opportunity to represent us in these fixtures. Gives us a real chance to push players into clubs at such a variety across the southeast. So yeah, just cracking on with getting those squads sorted today. I'm just going to crack on with that now, and we'll catch up with you guys later on in the day. Hi there guys, Sunday evening, just coming towards the end now. I've just been thinking and looking into a little bit more about the conversation we're having over the last 2 days about street football and video games and how it's affecting players. And I think it's interesting, definitely when you look back, a lot of top players came from backgrounds where they were playing a lot more on the street, and definitely that's something that Simon was mentioning. It's something that we're losing out on now, and obviously times have changed and it isn't possible for players to play out on the street as much. There is other things for them to be doing, video games, etc. And also it's just not as safe, or not perceived to be as safe out there on the street, so people aren't out there doing it, or people don't parents don't want their children out there doing that. And I think players are definitely losing out on that a little bit, because they're playing on surfaces which are challenging, hard to get used to, and now everything's played on kind of an ideal surface, and they've got good training aids. But I think there is something to be learnt from playing on uneven surfaces or on the streets. There's so many different aspects that come into play when you're doing that. Players have to make so many more decisions, and you're looking at players that are breaking through into the England side at top level. For example, Sancho, Reece Nelson. They would have played on the streets when they were kids. They would have been, and I think some people say about the 10,000-hour rule. Some people believe in it, some people don't. But those players, without even knowing it, were playing and training for so many hours on the streets, in cages, in their neighbourhoods, on their estates. And players, I don't think, train a lot more now in structured environments, but not so far in non-structured. And I think it's up to us, the coaches and the clubs, to be able to find a medium where you can get players to express themselves. And Simon mentioned chaos games. I think they definitely have a place in football and in coaching, but it's a big challenge now for people to be able to challenge these children and challenge the players to come out of their comfort zones, because it's so easy now to just fall into comfortable, boring training methods, and it's got to be fun but at the same time challenging and developing for the players. So just something that I think has been quite interesting to talk about over the last couple of days. So it'd be good to get any of your guys' thoughts on it. I know I said that yesterday as well, but I think it's quite an interesting debate, and I think it's interesting to see some players that are coming through now. And if you look at teams such as Holland, they obviously have gone through a cycle where they haven't been doing so well after doing well when they had the likes of Van Persie and back before that Bergkamp, and those are the kind of players that had been brought up in not so good environments, so they had steel, grit, determination, and I think that's something that we're definitely losing from the game now. And if you look at the comments that Mourinho is making now, whether you think it's right or wrong, he's talking about young players such as Martial, Rashford, Lingard, and saying technically they're top players, really, really good players, but they're lacking determination and guts at that real top level to impact games when things are going right, and then also impact games when it's going wrong. And I think definitely nowadays children sometimes do lack that willingness to fight and be determined, and I think that makes a big difference for those that want to go from good to top level players. You've really got to have that grit, determination, and will to win and will to fight for what you want. But yeah, it's quite interesting. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video as always. Been a great week, and now looking forward to what the next week holds.